Prince Harry's recorded a television interview where he's discussed his father, the King's health. The Duke of Sussex has been interviewed for the first time since King Charles postponed all public-facing duties because of his cancer diagnosis. He's also talking about his life with Meghan Markle in the Invictus Games during the broadcast to be aired on Good Morning America on Friday. Clips of the sit-down chat have already been released and show Harry declaring that he loves his family and believes the King's health scare may have a unifying effect. Royal courtiers said today Buckingham Palace aren't over the moon at Prince Harry's latest interview after he suggested his father's illness could lead to a reconciliation and will be hoping that he doesn't say any more. Grant Harrold, who worked as a butler for Charles for 7 years when he was the Prince of Wales, said there could be concern within Buckingham Palace at the interview. He told the New York Post, "If Harry's going into great discussions about anything, it's possible that the royals won't be over the moon." Mr. Harrold added, playing devil's advocate, Harry could have asked his family if they were happy for him to speak about it publicly, but I don't see, and from my own experiences with the household, I don't see that having happened. I don't think William and the King will be thrilled about Harry's interview, even though the King has already shared some information on his diagnosis. He is very private. Phil Dampier said the King and Buckingham Palace had avoided responding to Harry's comments in the past few years, which was a deliberate policy by the King to not make things worse and leave the door open. Palace courtiers are likely reeling from the news as they've tried to carefully control the narrative surrounding the King's illness. Now Harry's come along and decided to speak publicly about his father's illness, in what many will see as yet another example of why he can't be trusted. If only he'd stuck to speaking about his passion project, the Invictus Games, and his new life in California, as this interview will only worsen relations with the firm. It begs the question as to why his team of advisors aren't telling him another tell-all interview is a terrible idea. The rumour on Tumblr is that Buckingham Palace are considering a legal action to prevent Harry from going any further. Commentators warned today that the royal family will fear that at a later point he could start to go into details about the diagnosis or the treatment in the upcoming interviews in the future. What Harry's done is despicable. He proved what we all knew. Harry cannot be trusted. Using his father's cancer for financial gain and sympathy, how much lower can this individual go? And Americans buy everything he says. It's inappropriate to talk about someone's illness if they haven't okayed sharing their private business, let alone a public figure like the King who values his privacy and shared only what he wishes to with the public. Prince Harry should have gotten permission first about his father before the interview took place. Now it looks, and you will see, is money signs everywhere.